All right, so here we have Ryan Kinel once again chiming in on Supergirl. I don't know how many Supergirl videos he's made so far, but I'm assuming it's a lot. I'd have to go to his page and look, but it feels like Captain Marvel all over again. They are desperate, I tell you, for views on videos. Just the other day, I took a peek at some of the videos that they're doing now versus like 3 years ago. The views are incredibly different. Incredibly different. Like 3 years ago, Ryan Kinel was cracking 100K, 150K views on videos every time he uploaded. Now it's like 17, 18, 20, 30, somewhere around there. If he gets a 50K view video, it's doing really well. I think we talk about the fallacy of superhero fatigue. I think there's outrage fatigue. I think people are getting burned out on all of this hate content. They're tired of watching it. They're tired of being subjected to it. I will say this, a lot of people probably are picking one or two creators, and those are the ones they're watching, and they're moving away from like seeing, like, for example, I have an account where I subscribe to like a majority of these guys so I can watch what they're doing. Like on any given day, whatever the topic is, if you scroll through the subscription tab and you're watching like all of these channels, you get like 2 or 3 videos about the same thing from all of these channels all day long. There's not enough hours in the day to watch all these videos. When I do my Copecast Reacts playlist, when I do my playlist for this, I don't have enough time to watch all these videos. It's just, there's just not enough time in the day. Anyway, let's get into this Ryan Kinel video, see what he has to say about Supergirl set to open far below the Mandalorian and Grogu. But the actual title of this video is Supergirl actress says she's a queer icon for Pride Month as movie set for disaster. So not sure why we're starting off with this. And this is one of those I have to make a video kind of videos. It's 5 minutes and 20 seconds. He put no effort into this. When I call this content lazy, this is what I mean. No effort whatsoever. It's the same talking points he's used in multiple videos. It's a very short video. And he doesn't cover any of the queer icon stuff within the first like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this video. But we're going to watch it.
Over the last few weeks, it's been pretty clear that despite DC and James Gunn's best efforts, it doesn't look like a whole lot of people are actually interested in going out to the theater and spending their money on the next DCU movie, Supergirl. Now,
okay, evidence on that. Do you have any evidence on that, or is it just you saying it? You're also reading an article from Geeks and Gamers. Anytime these guys masturbate to their own pictures, anytime they're edging themselves to their own photos, it's a big red flag.
Now, I think a lot of people would argue, myself included, that it was probably foolish to make Supergirl the next DCU movie. It might especially be foolish after Superman came out to make a movie that seems so similar to that movie. Once again, crypto's in trouble. Once again, crypto has to be saved. They're even desperately using every scene they can of David.
So in other words, you think you know the whole movie when you haven't seen it? Did you read the comic book? I hate to say this, but did you read the story from the comics? Like, if you didn't, then you shouldn't be predicting what the story of Supergirl is going to be based on a couple of shots that you guys have like trashed over and over and over again. The James Gunn hate has infected your mind.
David Cornsweat's Superman to promote this movie, which might have been more helpful if Superman wasn't kind of a meh box office result. It was not the smash box office runaway hit that's...
Okay, so let's think about the logic here. He's saying that they have to use David Cornsweat's Superman to promote this movie, suggesting that Superman was so successful that DC is using him to promote Supergirl only because he is the more successful character in this new DCU. But then also he's saying that Superman was a flop and it was bad, and it doesn't make sense that they're using Superman to promote Supergirl because the movie underperformed. That's what he's saying here. So what sense does that make? Let's run this back. I want you guys to hear this. What sense does that make to say that they're using Superman to promote Supergirl because Supergirl is not going to do well? And then he realizes as he's saying it, oh, but wait, I also said Superman was a flop. Let's run this back.
To make a movie that seems so similar to that movie. Once again, crypto's in trouble. Once again, crypto has to be saved. They're even desperately using every scene they can of David Cornsweat's Superman to promote this movie, which might have been more helpful if Superman wasn't kind of a
right. You caught yourself.
Result. It was not the
you caught yourself
office runaway hit. That's
yeah. You caught yourself as like you can see it the moment in his head that it clicks that he's just made a statement that contradicts what he's been saying all along. He has to catch himself and correct it. It happens that moment when he's talking about desperately using David Cornsweet to promote the movie. Oh, but hold on, but Superman was a flop, you guys. Superman was a flop. He has to remind us that. Let's embiggen this.
So many people pretended like it was. Nevertheless, Supergirl is set to come out, and we knew it was going to open less than some other flops like Mandalorian and Grogu, but it's gotten...
By the way, we are now a minute into the video. A 5-minute video where he's talking about Supergirl being a queer icon. The headline is false. Millie does not call herself a queer icon. The interview that she gets, or the quick quote she gets on the red carpet that she responds to, is asking her how she feels about the status of queer icon. She never says that she's a queer icon. That never comes out of her mouth.
A little bit worse since then. This movie is set to release very, very soon, next week. And the reality is, it might not even be the #1 movie at the box office when it happens, because the second weekend of Toy Story, which is projected to be massive, by the way, Toy Story is set to break records.
This is wonderful box office, bro, but are we going to talk about what the title of this video is? Are we going to talk about that? Do you really have, I mean, like, we've heard you say all of this before. Flop, flop, flop. It's not going to make its money back. You guys are constantly on Flop Watch. That's all you're doing. You sit around as grown men watching whether or not movies are going to underperform at the box office and getting excited about it. It's a pathetic existence. I can't imagine being proud of it as a career. I can't imagine it's something you're going to think about 20 years from now and go, man, we really got them. When we said that movie was going to underperform and then it actually underperformed, we got them. Yeah, Toy Story is going to do really well. It's Toy Story. Absolutely. But I mean, like, that's not the point of this video.
That to be $150 to $170 million domestic debut. There's a decent chance that movie makes more in its second weekend than Supergirl makes.
Now, weren't you the guy who has said that Disney is dead? Disney animation is dead. Pixar is dead. Isn't that the narrative? Isn't it the narrative that Disney is get woke, go broke? So if the narrative is get woke, go broke, that's a necessary condition. If you get woke, you then go broke, then why is it that they have a movie that is going to be so massively successful? Why is that? It's kind of interesting when you think about it. Like, if Disney is dead, why do they have a movie that's going to smash records on its opening weekend? Something to think about.
It's first. And when you look at these projections now, between 45 and 55 million, that's where it's hanging. And could it underperform? Could it?
Actually, it's been moved up to around, I think, 65 to 70, but we'll let him continue.
Perform? Certainly. But right now, it looks like Supergirl might have a hard time breaking $300 million at the box office.
Wow.
And if it opens on the low end of these projections, that's embarrassing for one very specific reason.
Oh, is it?
If it opens beneath 46 million, it means that it would be opening less than the Marvels.
Wow, you got him. You got him, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. You got him. Case closed. How embarrassing. If Supergirl opens lower the Marvels. You got him, man. I guess there's no excuses, right? Like, this is the worst thing ever. Fuck, I'm so depressed. Man, I'm depressed. This is sad. This is sad times. I'm so glad I got Ryan here to do all of this comparison for me. I don't know what I'd do without you, man.
Which barely made $200 million
wow.
just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it is not.
And what's the comparison? They're women? Is that what it is? Is that the comparison? I mean, there's probably other movies you could have used, but you picked that one specifically. So, yeah.
Looking good for Supergirl in any way. And you know something that probably won't help? Millie Alcock speaking. Because it hasn't worked out so well, a couple things.
Yeah, women should just shut up. right? We've covered this before with these guys. They want women to shut up. They don't want women to say anything unless it is at the service of men. They want women to glaze men. No pause on that. That's absolutely what they want. And if a woman is out there saying something that does not immediately get these guys erect, it's a problem. If she's not making them a sandwich in the kitchen or doing laundry, that's a problem. Don't take it from me. We had a video where Az was talking about the new God of War movie, called it the God of Laundry. So this is how they view women. When people say, oh, how can you just accuse them of these things? I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's already told on himself in this video, right? They're comparing Supergirl to the second Captain Marvel movie, ignoring that the first one did over $1 billion. The first Captain Marvel movie was $1 billion+ movie. But they won't talk about that. They kind of ignore that. And they go right to the second one and go, we're going to use this one as the metric. This is the one we're going to look at. It's just obvious.
She said have gone relatively viral when it comes to the right people being mad at them about this movie, when it comes to people thinking they have ownership over women's bodies in this space and things.
You guys have proven her right on everything she said. She talked about ownership of body. I've seen more memes of how Millie looks since that statement than I'd seen before it. You just did exactly what she said she didn't want people to do, because you have to show her. You have to show Millie that she has no power over how men view her. You had to make her feel it by amping it up. So, yeah, it's obvious that she has been right about all of this stuff.
Like that. I don't know how well this is going to go over either. Now, of course, it's Pride Month, lest anyone forget. How can you forget when all these corporations changing their profile pictures and banners and putting out statements about standing with gay people? Yes, we stand behind the gay community. Yeah, I'm sure you do, because you're trying.
So here's the thing. Rainbow capitalism is real. It is a real thing. Gay people are aware of it. We have nothing to do with it. But somehow when you guys get mad about companies changing their logos to rainbows, we get lumped in with that. We just get shuffled in with that completely. So we get blamed for capitalism. Where's the outrage for Christmas? Where's the outrage for Valentine's Day? It doesn't exist. But gay people, we're responsible for companies trying to make money off of us. We're responsible for that.
Corporations changing their profile pictures and banners and putting out statements about standing with gay people. Yes, we stand behind the gay community. Yeah, I'm sure you do, because you're trying to fuck them in the ass. But from everything,
that would be you. That would be you. I absolutely believe that a lot of you guys are just extremely curious. This is speculation. I want to put this out there. But I believe that these guys are very curious. I believe that most of them probably have some sort of like gay app on their phone. I just do at this point. I just do. Before I was like, no, I don't think so. I just think they just hate queer people. No, I think there's something else there, because they think about gay sex more than gay people.
Millie Alcock was asked about what it means to represent so many gay people who see Supergirl as queer.
Right. And so your title is absolutely inflammatory and wrong when you say Supergirl actress says she's a queer icon for Pride Month. That's not what happened in this interview. It's not even close to what happened in this interview.
Over the years, many fans have embraced Supergirl as a queer icon. What do you think is about Kara that inspires that kind of connection?
Okay, so she was asked what she thinks about people seeing her as a queer icon. So she did not just come out and say, I'm a queer icon, right? She didn't say that. She was asked a question about it on the red carpet. Now, I also want to point out, before we listen to her respond to this, that I am very tired of outlets doing this kind of stuff for the clicks and knowing that what's going to happen is just going to be a massive amount of internet backlash and anger. I'm tired of this happening. If you're a reporter out there and you're chasing clicks and you're chasing a headline, please do your due diligence to make sure you're not putting an actor in a position where they have to answer a very difficult question on the red carpet and treat it like it's some gotcha from 60 Minutes before 60 Minutes was propaganda. Because they're trying to promote the movie. They're there to have a good time. They're there to have fun. And I don't think a lot of these places, as I've watched these interviews on the red carpet unfold over the years, I don't think a lot of these places care about whether or not the actors receive backlash based on their questions. Because as you see in this video from Ryan, it's being framed that Millie is the one that said it. The outlet isn't being talked about. The interviewer isn't being talked about. It's just the actor. I think if you're going to ask a question like this, you need to be very careful about how it's done in this day and age, not because I don't think they should talk about this stuff, but because it's done in on the spot, on the red carpet. It's not a sit-down interview. It's not done where they get to really think about what they're going to say. It's a gotcha question for these actors. But with that being said, I think that Millie did a fantastic job of answering the question. But I knew the minute that I saw this video clip, I knew when I saw this, that all of these guys were going to run with it. I knew it. And I hate that I knew that, but it's predictable at this point.
I think I played a few characters that might have a potential queer through line. I have many queer friends. So honestly, I'm kind of honored. I'm honored that that's happening. But
now what did they want her to say? What did they want Millie to say in this moment? That's my question. And we'll see if Ryan gets there or not. But was she supposed to say, like, fuck queer people? Fuck gay people? I don't give a shit about queer people? Like, what was she supposed to say in this moment? Other than, I'm flattered, thank you. What was she supposed to say? Let's be real here.
I think because she doesn't live inside the binary of what we think a woman should be, that is what makes her so special and so exciting and so new. And yeah, I kind of thought that as well. I was like, she'd do what she'd want to do in that regard anyway. But yeah, thank you.
Millie Alcock seems like she might be a little bit inebriated here. I think she was inebriated at an awards ceremony one time. So it could be she's a little inebriated here.
But who cares? Why are we commenting on that? Who gives a shit?
There is also sometimes when these celebrities start talking to gay people, or about gay things, they start using a different voice. I don't know why that is, but
the same reason you guys fucking do it. Are we being serious here? How many times have I watched videos with you and Jeremy and Gary Nerdrotic, where when you're talking about someone who's gay, you all of a sudden start talking like this and oh my god and blah blah blah. Like you guys do it too. You do it too. What the fuck are you talking about?
I can tell you. Talking about how Supergirl is a queer icon and how gay people should be looking up to her because she could potentially be gay too and potentially be queer. I don't know if this is exactly going to help this movie that right now.
Well, we just heard what she said, and that's not what she said. We literally just heard it. So what you're doing is you're like, oh, we're going to ignore what she actually said. This is what I want you to take away from this video, is what I'm saying about her. Right? That's what you're doing. We heard what she said, bro. We heard it. You don't have to tell us what you think she said. We just watched the video.
Now looks like it's set to be a massive nightmare at the box office.
Right. So let me follow your train of thought here. The movie was already underperforming because according to you, this is what Ryan said, the movie is already underperforming in early box office ticket sales. You think it's going to be a massive flop. You think it's not going to do well. These are what things that you said earlier in the video, and you said multiple times. So she comes out and she responds to a question about being a queer icon. And now the movie's going to flop. Now that's the problem. Now that's the issue. So before this little snippet, the movie was going to be $1 billion movie, I guess. It was going to make a ton of money. But now that she responded positively to a question about queer people, now it's done, everyone. Pack it up, throw it away, put it in the trash. It's over. Is that what we're doing here? Otherwise, what's the point of this video? What's the point? You didn't sort of say anything in regards to what you think she should have responded with. You didn't say, well, she should have said this or she should have done that. No, you just played the clip and then you made up what she was saying into something else. And then you go back to the box office.
And look, you're getting asked that question by a reporter. It can be tough to navigate these things while saying the right thing and not pissing anybody off. I get that. But there are probably better answers.
So you do. So you're acknowledging that you do understand. You do understand. And you acknowledged here that she wasn't the one that said it. She was asked the question by a reporter, but you still felt the need to put in your title that Millie said she's a queer icon, which is not what happened. Which, by the way, if she did say that, so what? Right? Like, cool shit. You're a queer icon. But that's not what she said. So you made up some weird fucking quote from her in this video after we watched her say something. And then you're like, but this is what she said. She didn't say that. And then you misrepresented her, the title to your video. And for what reason? When you acknowledge here that the question on the red carpet was asked as like a gotcha, and she had to navigate it in a very careful way. So you know that. So it's not that you're incapable of understanding that. You're just a fucking liar. You're just a liar.
Answers than that from Millie Alcock, but it doesn't matter. Millie Alcock's opened her mouth a couple times during this thing.
Oh.
It has not gone over well for her.
Okay.
And now they're staring down the barrel of a movie that will probably make less than The Flash.
What does that have to do with the question that she was asked on the red carpet here? What does any previous statements that Millie Alcock has said have to do with the question that she was asked on the red carpet here? What we're looking at is someone who wants to talk shit about queer people and decided this was the opportunity to do it. And you took this very short clip and you've kind of like tossed it into a salad of issues you have with Millie Alcock and the Supergirl movie. And you've decided that it's just another ingredient in the outrage salad that you're tossing. You're tossing a salad. Ryan Kinel is tossing a salad, and he's doing it with all of these different things that Millie Alcock has said. There is no one thing. It's just a bunch of other things put together that he's decided it's the problem here.
That could even potentially open less than the Marvels.
Right.
And might end up not even taking the #1 spot at the box office during its debut, because Disney has an animated movie coming out that looks like it's going to crush. And right.
So is that the problem of Supergirl, or is it a problem with the way movies were released? Because if it's a problem with the way movies were released, and you're blaming that for the failure of Supergirl, you're saying, oh, because of where this movie is released, that is going to cause it to fail, then you would then be acknowledging that release strategy for movies is important. And this will go all the way back to 2019 Captain Marvel, right? All the way back to that. And you'd have to look at that and go, oh, wait a minute. This movie's release package, the strategy for this movie being released, does count towards the success of the movie. Because every argument I've ever heard in defense of Captain Marvel making $1 billion is because it was strategically placed between two movies. So it's not about the quality of Supergirl. It's about Supergirl being leveraged against another very popular franchise in its 5th installment. So now, when a movie underperforms, we can just go, oh, well, the quality sucks, right? The quality must suck. These guys are so fucking annoying and fucking predictable. And I get so tired of being right about these guys.